Much of the debate, because of the Iranian situation, focused on foreign policy. Let's listen to what they're saying while Trump is taking care of business. So here is Bernie Sanders on what he thinks.
There's a reason Joseph Stalin had gulags, right? Mm-hmm. And actually, gulags were a lot better than what the CIA has told us that they were. Like, people were actually paid a living wage in gulags. They had conjugal visits in gulags. Gulags were actually meant for re-education.
Okay, maybe that wasn't Bernie. Maybe that was the guy working for Bernie. Let's actually listen to what Sanders said. Cut 15.
But what we have to face as a nation is that the two great foreign policy disasters of our lifetimes were the war in Vietnam and the war in Iraq. Both of those wars were based on lies. And right now, what I fear very much is we have a president who is lying again and could drag us into a war that is even worse than the war in Iraq.
So nuts, right? That is absolutely nuts. Let's hear Warren, cut 17.
I think we need to get our combat troops out. We have to stop this mindset that we can do everything with combat troops. Our military is the finest military on earth, and they will take any sacrifice we ask them to take. But we should stop asking our military to solve problems that cannot be solved militarily.
Well, people trying to kill us can actually be solved militarily, but just take a listen to those two people. Bernie Sanders is fighting the Vietnam War and basically saying that Trump is getting us into war, but nobody can believe that Trump wants us into war. That's, if you listen to CNN, that's what Trump is doing. He's starting World War III. But where's the World War III? It didn't happen. It hasn't shown up. So the entire premise of what he's saying is ridiculous. And she's saying we should pull out of the Middle East. We've already had that experience with Obama. Trump obviously wants out. He obviously wants out, but he's acting responsibly. And frankly, if Elizabeth Warren got into office, I think she would have to act in the same way. Here's Biden on this.
The reason he made the strike was because our embassies were about to be bombed. I would not meet with absent preconditions instead of poking our eye and poking our finger in the eye of all our friends by stealing our intellectual property, their corporate state system to our significant disadvantage. Moving away from fossil fuels to solar and wind energy.
Today, Junior.
That was just mean. That was actually spliced together. But Trump, meanwhile, I think he was in Milwaukee doing one of his rallies, which he does on the debate nights. And this is what he said about Joe Biden's cut 1.
You ever notice with Biden, he's always going the wrong state? And in your great state of Iowa. It's Iowa, right? No, it's Wisconsin. Oh, I meant Wisconsin. No, I didn't know I was in Wisconsin. That's Biden. How many times has he done that? By the way, lots of times he said, it's great to be in the state of Ohio. No, sir, you're in Florida. Many times, right? The sad part about that, Sleepy Joe is right. You know the sad part about that? When you do that, you can't really recover. You can be Winston Churchill, make the finest remainder of remarks, but you get killed. And he does it every time. And the fake news, they give him a total pass, and that's okay. It's all right. It's going to happen to all of us someday.
I don't know. I would hate to see Trump go just because I'd miss the laughs. When he goes off like that, he's funny. But here's what he said about foreign policy. Here is when these guys are blithering about pulling out, let's pull all our troops out of the Middle East, or let's not get into Vietnam, which, come on, is obviously not going to happen under Trump. This is what Trump is telling his rally. This is cut number 12.
Bernie and the radical left cannot protect your family, and they cannot protect our country, nor do they want to, I think.
Well, that's pretty brutal. But, here's the thing, they told us that, Trump has, in pulling out of the nuclear deal, has really wrong-footed Europe, and Europe wanted to be in the deal. And now Europe is joining in and going after Iran. The European powers have triggered a formal dispute mechanism over Iran's breaches of key parts of the 2015 nuclear deal, a move that could spell its end. Iran has gradually lifted all limits on its production of enriched uranium, which can be used to make reactor fuel, but also nuclear weapons. It has said it is entitled to do so in response to sanctions reinstated by the U.S. when it abandoned the deal in 2018. France, Germany, and the U.K. said they did not accept Iran's argument. And listen to what Boris Johnson had to say.
President Trump is a great deal maker, by his own account, and many others. Let's work together to replace the JCPOA and get the Trump deal instead.
Wow, that is the UK saying, let's get the Trump deal. Let's review this. The experts said that killing Soleimani would be World War III, no World War III. They said Europe is against us, Europe is with us. They said Iran is united in grief for their revered military leader. They're in the streets shouting, America's not the villain. You are, to the leaders of Iran. Really, the experts, the deep state, they have just proven themselves wrong. And all the Democrats want to do is have more of them. Everything is tickety-boo, including the massive growth of the Daily Wire YouTube channel. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and catch all our future videos right here on YouTube.